Hi. Now let us try to understand more about this select statement actually. So as we are saying that we are always retrieving the data from the table. So in our course, especially throughout this SQL part in this chapter, we are going to use the one table. So this is what the table we are going to use. So this table is more than enough that for any scenario discussion. Okay, so that is what. Let us just try to understand. Let us make this table well familiar so that whenever we are discussing things are going to become very easy. Okay, so here you see table name is EMP. It's nothing but employee table actually. And in this table total we have 8 columns. That is nothing but 8 attributes are there. And in this EMP number is actually a unique, you can say this is a primary key. Okay, as we discussed earlier. So this is a primary key. Every value here is it is unique and you don't have null values. That is what primary key, right? And then employee name you have and what kind of job he is. So that is what clerk, salesman, manager, analyst, president, these are the different categories actually, job categories. And MGR is nothing but manager. So for the Smith, for example, for the Smith, who is the manager? 7902. So who is the 7902? So here 7902 is the Ford. Ford is the manager for Smith actually. So that is what for every person, one manager will be there except president. So president is the top level person, right? So he don't have any manager actually. So that is why whenever any column, any cell is empty, that is nothing but you have a null value, because this is also matter very important actually. That also we will see. Okay. So empty cell meaning is null. Okay. So that we will handle separately. That discussion also there. Okay. So this is what MGR is nothing but manager. So hire date when he joined and the salary. What is this salary? This is in terms of the dollars assume. And this is the commission. For each employee you have commission. And here more empty cells are there. That is nothing but null actually. Okay. This is DEPT number. So DEPT number means a department. So under which department these employees are working. So actually we have another table department that also we will show you whenever required. So time being, just department number here we are displaying. So that is another table actually, as we seen in the normalization, when we split for the different for handling different anomalies. Department is one separate table and EMP is another table. So department is actually a parent table and here employee is a child table, because this department number is the primary key in the department table. Okay, so that is the reason here. This is a primary key, we can say. Sorry, this is a foreign key, actually, we can say. So its originality is there in and some other table. Okay, so this is what the table, first of all, we are going to use throughout our SQL part. Okay, now let us see how to retrieve the data from the tables in a simple manner. So but this is because we are writing the first query now. So let us see in a simple manner. So, if you see the syntax of a select statement, so select is a keyword you must write down. So it need not be always capital letters. Anything is fine, small letter or capital letter, that is fine. And then which columns you want. So which column you need, those column names you just mention separated by a comma actually. After mentioning the all columns, then you write down the from, that is also mandatory keyword. And these columns, especially these columns, from which table that we are mentioning. So they're very simple actually. So that is what, if you see, then this is what the first thing. Now here we told every column you have to mention separately. But sometimes I need all the columns actually, because sometimes some table may have more than 10 columns or 20 columns. Sometimes maybe 15, more than 50 columns will be there. So writing every column separately is not recommended thing. And you need all the columns at a time. At that time, simply use the star in this position, in the select clause. That is what. So if you use select star from EMP, then entire data is going to come as a output. What is that? This one that you can see. So this is the output you got for this command actually. Okay, so whenever you need, you don't want any filters in the columns, then you use the star. If you need only specific columns, then this is the syntax as we mentioned. So you can see I need only MP number, ename and department number. And from which table? These column names must present in the table actually, whatever you are mentioning. Okay, so that is what actually here you can see. So output is EMP number, ename, DUPT number. So in this way, whatever columns you need that you mention in the select clause, only those columns are going to come actually. And one more thing is, EMP number is the first column, after that ename and then department number. But you want to change the orders actually, order of display. So for example, I need first ename. So then simply you write down select. First I need ename. So give ename. And then I need a department number. And then I need EMP number. So you just give. So here, whatever order you are mentioning, that is nowhere related to the order you have in the original table. This is the original table. Okay, so in which order you want to display the columns, in that order you can mention actually in the select clause. And of course, after that from table name. So that is EMP and terminate with colon. So this is what actually the first thing, in what way you want to display the data. Okay, so now here let us see one simple thing. So let us write down some queries actually here. I need commission and salary. So what we can write down? So we need only commission and salary of every employee. So every employee means let us display his number and salary and commission. So that is what you can see. Select. So whose salary? That is why EMP number. Let us display. So EMP number, and we need salary, and we need commission. So that's it, right? And from which table these columns are there? So that is what from always. So we are retrieving these columns from EMP table. So that's it. So very easily you can filter the columns actually. Unnecessary columns you can skip, and the necessary columns only you mention in the select clause. So let us just display every employee name and his job, what under which category he is working. So that is what, in that case, what we will write down. So select. So ename, we need only ename and his job. So that is what job. So these two columns from which table actually? So from EMP table. So like this, you can mention only one column you can mention. So that is what I need only, for example, I need only MGR. So see, so here in the output, how many rows it is going to display? You just count first of all, how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 rows are going to get actually output here. And here also output is 14 rows. Always remember that this is also important for us. 14 rows you are going to have in this table, and 8 columns we are going to have. That is what. Okay, so EMP number, ename, job, MGR, hire date, sal, commission, department number. Totally 8 columns, 14 rows we have. This is also required. Sometimes we need actually. So I want to just display. See now the magic. If you see, I want to just display commission part. So that means select only commission. Why I am writing this part? Let us see. From EMP table. So what is going to happen is output. How many lines it is going to display actually. So though you have null here, everything it is going to display. So that means total 14 rows it is going to display. As it is, this entire column data is going to display actually. Okay, there is no filter actually. Null values also as a with the empty cell, it is going to display actually. Okay, so this is what a simple thing how we are going to have a select statement, and it's a syntax. If you need all the columns, then you put a star in the select clause so that all columns are going to come in the output. Or if you need a specific columns, at least one column must be there. At least one attribute, and more than that, any number of attributes which those must exist in the corresponding table, which you are mentioning in the from clause actually. Okay, so this is the very basic thing we must understand, because select statement we are going to use in the 80% of the course in the SQL chapter. Okay,